Hey, team, Coach Mike here. Want to take a quick couple minutes to just describe what's really important in the business plan, the 2024 business plan. What is it that Coach Maria and I are looking for that we need to get done ASAP? Of course, the whole business plan should be completed, but let's focus on what we're looking for right away. I'm going to do a quick screen share. We'll get this done in a few minutes and be on our way. So let's take a look here. Okay, this is the Tom Ferry business plan. You find it by going to business tools and business plan. These first three sections, you'll notice there's a few sections still under development. We'll get to those when we get to them. But what I want to talk to today is about purpose, motivations, and units and goals. These are the ones I want to get working on ASAP. Purpose is very simple. You click on the purpose tab here, and it's going to bring up a screen like this, and then you'll click next, and it will bring up your vision, mission, mission, and values. These you're going to watch Maria's video on how to create your business plan using ChatGPT. There's a webinar in there. It's in Discord, in the Resources Center for the business planning. Watch that. She's going to tell you how to ask ChatGPT the right questions, so ChatGPT can answer these questions for you, and ChatGPT can answer these questions for you. Why accountability and commitment? I would literally say you can start by cutting and paste what ChatGPT comes up with, and then massage it so it's more you. So this part is very easy. Watch Coach Maria's webinar. She'll walk you exactly how to do it. Where you have to start getting to work is under units and goals. Units and goals, we need to collect some past data. We have to start with some past data. That is going to be what did you do last year? So, which is this year. What did you do in 2023? How many units did you sell? What was your GCI? GCI is how much did the broker make? It's what was the total combined commission for the side you were represented between everyone involved. That number, we want the total GCI. And what was the sales volume? So if you sold the home, it was worth $600,000, and you sold two of them, both at $600,000, then the total sales volume will be $1.2 million at that point. You just keep adding it up until we get to the total number of sales volume that you sold for the year 2023. Percentage of business, sliding scale. What percentage was buyers versus sellers? As accurate as you can. Just trying to figure out are you more buyer heavy or seller heavy, and where's this business coming from? That's really all you got to do. Okay, so that's this step, because the next step is, again, in 2023, where did all the business come from? So and you're breaking it down by lead pillars. This is important because we're going to want to know where did the business come from in 2023, so we know, or whatever year that you're currently in, if you're watching this in the future, versus how much do we want to do next year. So we've got the core five here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, a database, which is your sphere of influence, past clients and referrals from both. Online leads, GeoFarm, open house, and expired listings. If you want to add another lead source, you can just click add another right down here, and then that will allow you to add another lead pillar that you're currently working, that you want to track, and create a marketing plan behind. Everything on here, we're going to create a marketing plan behind it. Then you got this column for your sellers and buyers. It's just real numbers. What did you do this year? And just plug them in. They have a special section now for agent referrals. So how many did you send? How many did you receive? And if you want to add another column for like professional services, like, handyman, plumbers, roofers, inspectors, anything like that, you can add those. Or if you'd rather just put them right up in here, you can. If it's just one deal, it's probably not going to make a difference. But here's where you add another one. And then you can track what leases you did last year as well. Next screen. Let's see here. Okay, this is now, let's create your lead source and unit goals for 2024. So ideally, right, it would be the same numbers, if not larger, with the same lead pillars that you had this year. So I would start by just adding all the lead pillars that you had this year, or where the business came from, and then I would start by plugging in the numbers you did this year, and then you can always add more, increase them, or even add another lead pillar if that's something that you want us to address with this year of coaching. So basically, same as last year, a little bit more, and anything we're adding. Same thing here. What did you do last year? Can we do it again this year? Can we get more out of it? And are we adding another referral source? Plug it in here, and we can work on that together. And your goals for your leases. Once we've got all those numbers in, the only thing left is divvying it up seasonality. So it's going to tell you, I haven't filled anything in, but it'll give you a number here, whatever that number is for you, whether it's 28, 36, 42, whatever it is, it's going to tell you how many there are there. And all you do is quickly go through here. What I usually say is divide whatever this number is by 4, then plug each one of those numbers into each one of because each one of these lines represents a quarter. And then adjust it based on, okay, am I going to do less or more in January, February, March, and then split that number up between here and maybe add, and then am I going to do less or more than the average in April, May, June? Am I going to do less or more than average? Each market is different. Some markets are heavy in October, November, December, January, February, March, and light in April and through spring and summer, and others are heavy spring and summer, light winter and fall. What is your market? Plug in your numbers. It should just match whatever the number is here. And the last thing to take care of, and we're done. See, this is not a difficult process. How many days a week do you intend to intentionally prospect? This is different than working. There's many days that we both know, or that we all know, that you spend an entire day working and you didn't do any prospecting. You may have had 3 or 4 real estate conversations, and you may have done a lot of real estate activity, but it wasn't intentional prospect. Intentional prospect is that hour of power where you sit down, stand up, whatever it is, you put a headset on or you get your phone out and you actually intentionally prospect. That could be phone calls, that could be sending text messages, video text message. This could be interacting with instant messaging, social media, but you're prospecting with people that you don't really, that aren't leads, and you're trying to generate real estate conversations that turn into appointments, because we know if we have enough real estate conversations, they turn into appointments, and appointments turn into buyers and sellers. So how many days a week do you intentionally prospect? It's not 5. I'll give you a hint, because it's not going to be 5 days a week for the entire year. It's going to be somewhere around that 3, 4 range, depending on how aggressive you are. It might be 2 or 3 for most of you. How many weeks are you going to take off? Well, we all know we're going to take at least 1 week off, 2 weeks off probably for the holidays. You're going to take another week off for vacation. You're going to take another week off because we just have to account for maybe getting sick, not feeling well, things like that. And maybe just another. So is the answer 5, 6, 7? I say put a larger number here than you think it is so that the system can adjust and give you your goals based on what if you did take that much time off? What if something big did happen in your life that you needed an extra 2 weeks off? We accommodated for it in the business plan. It doesn't mean you can't still work those weeks. It just means the business plan won't reflect those weeks. So it's going to give us numbers based on you not working those weeks. So put a bigger number here than you think you want to. And this is going to be an individual for everybody. I just want to clarify the question. On average, how many conversations per hour of power, that intentional prospecting, do you have? Now, a conversation has to be interaction. If I text somebody and they reply back to me, that it could be that is considered a conversation. If they reply, we have a back and forth. If I comment on somebody's social media post and they comment back, that's a conversation, a back and forth. So those count. So from that perspective, could we make 20 phone calls in an hour, have 4 people answer it, so therefore we have 4 conversations, but we also send 6 texts that get 4 responses? That could be another 4. And did we do 8 social media posts that got 6 responses? So see, it can combine up there. We can get a larger number when we combine all of the aspects of this. So this is just something to think of. How many conversations per hour of power can you have, or will you have? Then the next question we got to figure out, and if we don't know it, guess. How many conversations do you have per closed transaction? So if I have 40 conversations, will that lead into a closed transaction? The best way I like to analyze this is think in your mind, if I had 10 conversations, how many of those people would sit down and have an appointment with me? Then if I had, so let's say 1, I'm just going to use that as a number. So if 1 person would sit down in an appointment with you, what's the percentage of a chance that you're going to get that as a listing or a buyer? Let's say it's 50-50, because who knows? They may, it could be lower because maybe they just want to talk to you about a CMA, but they have no intention of selling. So Keep all this in mind. This is a guess, but let's say you had one conversation, 50-50 you're going to get. That means for every 20 conversations, you might be able to get one transaction. That might be a little low. So let's say in 10, you get one, and it takes 4 appointments to get a listing, so that would be 40. That makes sense? I hope it does. Just plug in those numbers. We can always adjust them. If you don't know it, guess. I'm making sure that this is it. And then we go into what percentage of listing appointments result in a signed listing agreement. So if you go on a listing appointment, what percentage do you get a signed agreement? What percentage of signed listings to close? What percentage of buyer consultations and a signed exclusive buyer agency agreement? We all know that's coming eventually. And what percentage of signed agreements close? So those are just pure stats based on your historical goals or what you've done. And once you've got all that filled out, you're basically done for what we need ASAP. The rest of it has to be done, but these are the numbers that we all look at and our coaches look at and the Tom Ferry system ecosystem looks at, and it will give you then a summary of how many conversations you need daily, weekly, yearly, et cetera, and all this other good stuff that you can peruse at your convenience, and we will definitely be talking about it on our next coaching call. So I hope this helps. Enjoy writing that business plan, and we'll see you in the next call.